The psychology behind silence. Why does it make us uncomfortable? Before we learn how to handle silence, we need to understand why it feels awkward in the first place. The discomfort we feel during silence is rooted in our biology, culture, and emotions. 1. The brain's reaction. The human brain is wired for pattern recognition. When conversations flow, our brain predicts what's coming next. But when a pause disrupts the rhythm, the brain perceives uncertainty, triggering anxiety. It's a survival mechanism. Our ancestors needed communication for cooperation and survival, so silence often signaled danger or disconnection. 2. Social conditioning. In many cultures, silence in conversations is seen as negative, indicating boredom, tension, or even disinterest. We've been taught that good conversations are continuous, leaving little room for natural pauses. 3. Emotional discomfort. Silence forces us to sit with our own thoughts. For some, this can bring up insecurities or fears of being judged. We worry that silence means we're not interesting enough, that we've lost the other person's attention, or that we've failed socially. Understanding these triggers is the first step to overcoming them. When we learn to reframe silence, we can turn it from something awkward into something powerful. The power of silence. How it can work in your favor. While silence can feel uncomfortable, it can also be one of the most powerful tools in communication. Many of the world's best speakers, negotiators, and leaders use silence strategically to create impact. 1. Silence builds authority. Have you ever noticed how great leaders and public speakers pause before delivering a key point? Silence creates anticipation, making people hang on to your words. It also signals confidence. You're not rushing to fill the void because you own the moment. 2. Silence enhances listening. In conversations, silence gives others space to speak. It encourages deeper responses, making discussions more meaningful. Instead of fearing silence, see it as an opportunity to listen more and understand others better. 3. Silence strengthens negotiations. In business and high-stakes discussions, silence can be a negotiation tactic. When you pause after making an offer or asking a question, the other person often feels compelled to fill the silence, sometimes revealing valuable information or making concessions. Once you start viewing silence as a strength rather than a weakness, your entire approach to conversations will shift. Handling awkward silences. Strategies for every situation. Now, let's get practical. How do you handle awkward silences when they arise? Here are 4 effective techniques. 1. Develop conversational confidence. The more comfortable you are in your own skin, the less silence will bother you. Confidence comes from preparation. Have a mental list of interesting topics, ask open-ended questions, and be ready to share personal stories. 2. Use humor to break the ice. A well-placed joke or light-hearted comment can instantly dissolve tension. Saying something like, "Well, that was a dramatic pause," acknowledges the silence in a playful way and keeps the conversation flowing. 3. Shift your perspective. Instead of seeing silence as awkward, view it as a moment of reflection. Give yourself permission to pause, breathe, and gather your thoughts. A second or two of silence is natural and often unnoticed by others. 4. Use the echo technique. If the conversation stalls, repeat or rephrase the last thing the other person said. This shows you're engaged and gives them a chance to expand on their point. With these strategies, you'll start handling silences with ease and confidence. Mastering social skills. using silence to your advantage. Beyond just handling awkward silences, you can use silence to master social interactions. Stay calm under pressure. When silence happens, don't panic. Maintain eye contact, relax your posture, and project confidence. Improve emotional intelligence. Pay attention to body language and tone. Silence can reveal emotions that words don't. Control the flow of conversation. Strategic pauses let you emphasize key points and control the pace of discussions. The key is to embrace silence rather than fear it. Real-life scenarios and solutions. Let's walk through a few common situations where silence feels awkward and how to handle it. 1. Workplace meetings. If a meeting goes silent, don't rush to fill the gap. Let people process information. If necessary, say, "Let's take a moment to reflect on that before we continue." 2. Social gatherings. If a group conversation slows down, introduce a new topic or engage someone directly by asking their opinion. 3. Dating and relationships. In personal interactions, silence can be intimate. Instead of fearing it, use it to create deeper connections through eye contact and shared presence. 4. Public speaking. If you forget what to say, pause. Audiences respect speakers who stay composed rather than rushing to recover. By applying these techniques, you'll start seeing silence as an ally rather than an obstacle. We started this journey by identifying why silence makes us uncomfortable. But now, we've transformed that fear into power. We've learned that silence isn't something to be avoided. It's something to be mastered. Your challenge? Start embracing silence in your daily interactions. Practice pausing before responding. Listen more, and observe how silence changes the dynamics of your conversations. The next time silence creeps in, don't panic. Smile, breathe, and own the moment. Because now, you know how to handle awkward silences like a pro. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from mastering the art of silence. This is BZX Podcast. Until next time, stay confident, stay in control, and embrace the silence.